he got flesh torn off his body. So he had to go through that stage before he went up there. And he had to be alive while it happened.
And carried it.
And had to carry his own death. His own torture method. Go ahead, instrument of torture. Yeah. Go ahead. So that's like your mama telling you go get a switch. Yeah. That's like you bring that bullshit switch back, that little. Right. You know, she want that. She go get a tree branch. You know. Go ahead. Tree branch. That's
in his feet. And his feet like unto fine brass.
So it started with his feet. It's like unto fine brass. Keep reading.
As if it was.
Feet unto fine brass.
Feet unto fine brass.
As if like fine brass, smooth.
As if they burnt in the furnace.
Dark skin. Now the brother's dark. Probably who's probably like your hue. He probably way darker.
Hey, what color is brass? Do you know?
Yeah. Oh,
get him an image of it.
Get somebody got a
and get go on Google and pull up brass if it was brass burned in the furnace.
Give me a penny.
Penny is the color brass.
Penny.
And actually what color Greek is bronze.
Hold on, but wait. No, that's too light. The scriptures say brass as if it was burned in the furnace. So if anybody can pull up an image
on
that
there you go right here. Nice little dirty penny right here. This is dark. Now if it was burnt, if that penny was burnt, what color would it be?
Put it next to his skin.
Real dark.
I mean, you can take a lighter to a penny, and in a matter of seconds, it gets.
It'll change the hue. The molecular structure will start changing because you burn off. You was burning stuff. You was burning the whatever on there. It started seasoning, and you know. So we already know the light is the skin. The vitamin D will it's nutrients for it. So we was made for that. You know, only so-called white man was not made for that sun. You know,
everyone else is dark.
And it gives in. Everybody's dark on the earth. Except for them. On purpose, because the Lord left something for you to know who He's talking about in the last days. Edom is what? Red. Edom is Adam. He's wasted away. He cannot take the Ishashua. He cannot take the sun. He get melanoma.
The sun whoop his ass.
His whoop his ass.
Whoop his ass. White you can't.
He needs sunblock.
He needs sunblock, but the sun won't block.
And the sunblock, there's a video of sunblock.
He read that.
The sunblock, it gives you dark skin.
It's a color of burnt brass, as if that's the color. That's the way it would look.
He said as if it burned in the furnace, so he was dark skinned.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Right. His voice has the sound, so he had a deep voice. Go to 2:18 real quick.
2:18?
Yeah, so see, he said, he said he had a big, real dark, deep voice, man. So because he had to talk to people. He was on a boat and they was on land, he was talking. So his voice was dark and deep, deep. So that's just like us, when we speak. We try to speak loud. It said, tell us to raise, cry loud, spare not.
Lift that voice up as a trumpet.
Right. Go to 2:18.
All right, Revelation chapter 2, verse 18. And unto the angels of the church of...
That's
Thyatira. Right. These things saith the Son of Yahweh, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet as like fine brass. I know thy works, and charity, and service, and faith.
And it says his feet are likened to fine brass. Right? The reason it said that his feet was likened to fine brass is because basically when he saw him, he had on a garment. So the only thing that he could really see is his hands and his feet. You know? And it says that his face was the appearance of lightning. In the book of Daniel, why did it say that? It says that because in Ecclesiastes 8, right? It says wisdom maketh a man's face to shine. So who's full of wisdom? Who is it in this world that is full of more wisdom than him? And he gets his wisdom from his father.
Right. And check this out too. If you ever seen like Muslims and Arabs, they don't want. You got two images of Muhammad. You got one where he's a waffle colored nigga, and one he's a dark, Arab. Now they don't want an image of him being shown. You know, they very protective about the images that they allow the world to see. They don't want it being shown, period. but they damn sure don't want an image of a black Muhammad being shown. Now, think about why they would not want that. You know, because they don't want to project that onto other sand niggas. They don't want them to have this image that Muhammad wasn't a prophet at all, that he was actually a so-called black person, which it wouldn't matter anyway because he's not of the chosen seed. But
yeah, Khan. Who got the arms and legs with like in the cover?
Hey, the brother got it.
Khan.
Daniel 10.
Yeah.
Daniel 10 and 5. Daniel 10 and 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Right.
His body also was like a barrel.
There you go.
His body was like the barrel. I got it. His body was like the barrel, which is green color.
Yeah.
Right. It's green. It's a green color.
Yeah, because he had on the lustrous garments.
Right. And he said linen.
Yep.
It was all linen. And they said they wanted his garment when he was up on that cross. They parted his garment because his whole garment was woven like no seam in it. This was like one big.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was nothing.
He just slid it on.
He had class, bro. He just walked in. He didn't have a seam. It was just like seam.
Looking like the man when I walk.
His face and his appearance of lightning.
Oh, Salaki, I want to make a point about his garment. In Revelations, the 19th chapter, it says that who is this glorious in his apparel? Right. You know? And his apparel was glorious, but yet it was still stained with blood.
Yep. Go ahead. His appearance as lightning, and his eyes of lamps of fire.
Going back to his eyes of lamps of fire. I mean, he drunk wine. They still say his eyes should be red with wine, his teeth white with milk.
Yep.
Go ahead,
And his arms and his feet like in color
to polished brass.
To polished brass.
So his arms and feet was like in the color of the brass. So they described his arms and feet because they let you know the description of the true Lord, our real Lord. Because this is Satan. This is any of the Edomites are Satan. This is an image of Satan.
Of the devil.
Of the devil. And that's why they deceive. It's to deceive our people. And that's what they came over here. The conquistadors and all them damn Europeans came over here with that image to say who that was. Because after a while, our people just started being simple. Being over here, we started being simple. Being in out here in the fields and being niggas with each other, or Uncle Tomahawks. We're not giving each other, making wars with each other. We weren't even being brotherly, even in the time in a time where you could have been peaceful. It's always niggas always trying to get over on somebody, man. You know. But the Lord sent them over here, and this has had to happen. This prophecy has had to happen for us, for this day, because right now it's wartime. This is wartime, and I don't know if you know about Venezuela. Venezuela is in a goddamn. And nobody knows about Venezuela, man. We got to nobody, man.
It's funny you mentioned that because on Saturday Night Live they did a skit where this Edomite, he brought his girl who was actually a man. Yeah, I know. When she came into the house to meet the family, they was already having a discussion. And she stopped the whole conversation and was like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Are you guys talking about what's going on in Venezuela? And they laughed and was like, no, like they didn't give a fuck.
Right.
Flew right over their head.
No, and that's a point that's a hint to the elites or people in the know to what's happening. See, you get a lot of movies and things that and poignant points that they would say things like he said. They said it and they had laughed and kept going to the next scene or continue on. What? God.
Excuse me. Do you guys know anything about what's going on in Venezuela right now?
No, not right now. But we don't know. It's gonna match up with America. So pull up Venezuela when you get home and see that there's a destitute country going on. They tearing it apart.
Hey, with the
martial laws in effect.
The Bible does say that this is the place that dwelleth carelessly. You know, Babylon dwelled carelessly because the so-called white man did a good job on getting you people to only care about mirth, to only care about being happy, to only care about being joyful, partying, having a good time. That's the reason why Yahweh Shai goes on record by saying that this thing will take you by surprise. It will come like a thief in the night. It's going to be like the time of Noah, when you were partying, you were marrying, you were giving into marriage, but then the flood came.
Y'all know what's going on in Venezuela?
It's perfect.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, it's coming here.
You know what? You know what?
Israelites, wake up.
They don't care.
Okay.
It's whoever knows, they don't care. Why? Because they're like, okay, it's happening in Venezuela. But guess what? It's not only happening in Venezuela, it's beginning to happen in Puerto Rico as well.
Yep, Puerto Rico is out.
Puerto Rico is a part of what?
America.
Puerto Rico is a part of America, right?
Commonwealth.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not saying y'all angry.
We are.
Very
You can say that.
77.
Well, I get it.
Oppression.
Yeah, I get it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
That's right. Ain't that what? We out here. We spewing wisdom of the Most High out here. So this is knowledge you have never really heard before, and that's not from us. That's from Him. Out of the scriptures that you see every day, you will see Joel Osteen and Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes and all of you. See them what they spend. You won't hear this. You hear about the man of prosperity. We're not talking about prosperity in this world. We talk about making sure, getting the message that you are Israelites. But what we're actually trying to do is do the work He told us to do, so we can have not chance of salvation, not to feel the heat that's going to come. Because that's why it's a small. It said one of a city, one of a family, or two of a family, and one of a city. So it's not that many people. It's not too many brothers gonna leave off this place when it burnt up. It is not in 70 years like I heard some ignorant motherfuckers say. It's gonna be soon, man. If you got stuff going on in Venezuela, I ain't never seen that, man. And then Puerto Rico's falling apart. They come up here. If they shut down America because of that dollar, it's gonna be chaos, man. Because first they gonna do that, and because they gonna institute a chip, and you gonna have people that's gonna rebel against this chip. This chip is the mark of the beast, and that mark of the beast is gonna be the end all be all. Because once that's set off, it's gonna be skirmishes, and people are not gonna actually want to take that chip, because a lot of people are now in the know about the chip. They know that the chip is gonna be what they say they hear on the alternative news. They hear Alex Jones speak about it. They hear all these other alternative news speak about this chip. What is this chip? And they hearing about it. And then you hear now people know it's the mark of the beast, except the damn IUIC. How this goddamn idiot? How these niggas know?
They know.
Because it's June. It's June.
They're just teaching that it's not.
June, right?
It's doom. That's what it is. It's doom. It's doom for you goddamn niggas, man. That's right. The mark of the beast is when that gets set forth. And when that happens, don't forget it's gonna be some spiritual happening. It's gonna be like monsters running this, you know, over here.
They just found Leviathan.
They found Leviathan, man. Leviathan wait.
Yeah,
he for that notable day, man, because the Lord has got him ready for that day. I know sea coast all around there. You think it's nothing in these seas? They got. I seen a YouTube video of a shark that was, man.
He wasn't even
a megalodon. It was just too odd to be this big. We seen great whites 10 feet tall, 10 feet long, or this. You know how they had the cages underwater, like in Jaws? They put the shark was bigger than the fucking cage, man. He was bigger than the damn cage, and he was his massive, and he was huge, man. So just think about the things that's down there.
This shit down there.
It's shit down there. You got something?
Yeah, I got a precept because. You asked why are we so angry? The brother already read the scripture. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? How does a man know that he's oppressed? Once you read this Bible and you understand it in its totality, or you understand it in its proper context, then you will understand why we're angry, right? This is Ezekiel 3. I'll start at 3 and 1. It says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll and go and speak to the house of Israel. It says, so I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat the roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then I did eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
Because you find out you was an Israelite. You find out everything that you oh, this is what's going on. I mean, it's sweet. This is sweet in my belly that the Lord is coming for us.
3 and 1.
This is what we are. This is why we always been oppressed. This is why, because the whole world don't want us to get nothing. But then it said what? It said you can sweeten your belly to learn who you are. You learning this. Oh shit. But you got to know there's a bitter sweet because the Most High is balanced. You got to find out.